So, allow me to start with a couple of questions just to understand more my audience. Who has operations in the Middle East? Anyone have? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
There you go. It is.
Okay. So anyone have operations in the Middle East? No. Okay. So what I'll be covering today is some of the trends, the CPaaS and the market trends that we see in the Middle East. How did we change or drive more transformation on our products and our go-to-market? And then a closer look to the market, the landscape, the drivers that push for CPaaS services in the market. And at the end, we've picked like a few case studies that we worked on with our customers, which would hopefully give you a better sense of how we work with our customers. So quickly, who are we? We were founded 2006. Our headquarters is in Saudi. We are proud to be serving more than 5,000 customers across different industries. We have 500 uniformees, of which our team is very diversified. We have around more than 40 nationalities, which is something that we're proud of as well. And we're handling around 1 billion transactions monthly across different channels. So I want to start with the everlasting question. I think one of the things that when I attended like 7-8 years, we had the same question as well. A lot of people had different opinions on is CPaaS dying or declining, or it's evolving. And actually, what I've learned is it depends on how you're looking at it. If you look at the CPaaS as still as it was first introduced as its wrap up of providing communication channels through APIs to enterprises, so then it's debatable how long it would last. But if you look at CPaaS as providing the ways and means for communication, engagement, and driving customer experience for businesses, so I believe it's evolving like no time before, because you can see a lot of consolidations. You can see CPaaS players getting into chatbot solution, contact center solutions, and other things. But, and there's always but, from what we've seen in the market, there's few trends that are pushing and shaping how the CPaaS services are evolving. Starting with the conversations, I think it's becoming a second nature for all of us. We're all using, chatting, and they're using different chatting apps all the time. The leap of the AI, and that's good. The leap of the AI, and all the businesses want to take advantage of that leap, especially when it comes to their operations efficiency and scaling their businesses. And the third one is hyper-personalization, which has proven to be an integral element for conversions for businesses. So taking a closer look at each of these trends, it's no doubt that conversations is picking up. And in the Middle East, we've seen like tremendous exponential adoption lately, more than ever. And if you think about it, how many of us would call a call center and wait on the line for support agent, whether texting or sending a message for the support? I think the majority of us, and especially younger generation, would prefer to text with these businesses. And how does that relate to businesses? They've realized that conversation marketing solution could be one of the fastest and the quickest way to push customers through their conversion channels, through their sales funnels. And the second one, which is the leap of the AI, and how we're seeing these different businesses and different industries are trying to capitalize on that. First, of course, is the virtual assistants, and I'll be sharing at the end a nice use case that we've implemented on providing more virtual assistants, helping in automation, scaling the operations. We've done a lot of use cases that help streamline the support operations for a lot of businesses. The second one is the personalization and the marketing automation. And I believe it's have never been easier, where you can create customer journeys, not only that, but even adopt these customer journeys to the end user, and having a different experience for each of your users based on their activities and their history of engagement. And the third part is engagement or analytics at large, whether you look at it from the side where you're engaging with your customers, their sentiment, what are the topics, what are the services that they are after, and give truly insightful and actionable insights, or on the agent side, where you're trying to score your service, see how good they are doing, how they are dealing with your customers. And the third one, which is the hyper-personalization, and what's driving, or what we believe is driving that trend, is basically that all brands are competing on who's providing the top customer experience and who's the most customer focused. And consumers on the other side had the expectation that they can continue to chat with businesses like they do with their friends and families. So it's becoming like something that they are expecting to find with all the businesses they are dealing with. So, three ways on thinking, or three different parts when we think about hyper-personalization. First, of course, the contextual personalization, or the context, the location, the history, the activities that specific user has been doing with business. The second is the dynamic content, and that's simply creating real-time content for the users, and that's been shown that it's key driver for pushing more engagement and accordingly higher adoption for these users. And third is the personalization, or personalized communication, and it's simply taking the user preferences into consideration, whether the right timing, the channels, even the frequency that you would communicate with the users. So some of the users, when you overdo it and you communicate with them more, they start blocking these brands, so it actually has a negative effect. So coming back to the big question of how do you think about bridging the gap or closing the gap between what customers are expecting and what the business can offer, is the answer lies, or we believe that the answer lies in these three trends. And for businesses to adopt these three trends, they need enablement. Whether these enablement are the channels, which used to be the initial offering of a CPaaS player, or the tooling. And there is a gap because according to a recent study, 75% of the enterprises or the businesses believe they are very customer-centric. And at the same research, only 30% of the consumers believe that the brands are actually are customer-centric. And that's the gap where CPaaS players should evolve to fill that gap. So the mashup of all this enablement tools, trends, and channels form what is referred to as a joint-up experience for the end user or the consumer, and that basically move the focus from just touch points or messages to journeys. And that's where we believe the market and the trends is going. So, moving to Uniphonic part, or how did we think about changing or bridging the gap between what we've seen in the market and what we're building in our products, but also the go-to-market. We started by taking a closer look to our customers' customer journey. And we thought about it, instead of enabling just connectivity and channels for these businesses, how can we help enable such transformation? And we structured our products into 4 groups, 4 product lines. First is what we refer to as the channel suites, and that's our plain vanilla offering. I would say the CPaaS 1.0, which is simplifying the programmable telco and offering that through APIs. And second, engagement suite, our SaaS solutions, things like the Chatbot Studio, Agent Console, Flow Studio, which help you, with low-code or no-code, build customer journeys, and campaigning tool, which we find very effective for the majority of the businesses we serve. Third is the verification suite, and that add some sort of a trust factor to the journey of the customers. And the fourth and the latest that we've added is our intelligence suite, and here we add or group all our AI products, things like NLP engines, sentiment analysis, speech recognition at large, topic classification, analytics. So we've added a lot of products into our AI suite. Of course, this didn't happen overnight. We had to go through some sort of transformation. So I would say until 2020, we were focusing on what we refer to as mastering the CPaaS services. We were trying to take advantage of the hyperscalability that the cloud providers offer and simplifying the programmable telco complications or complexities through wrapping that into simple APIs that we offer for our end users. And then starting in 2021, we started to focus more on applications. That's where the engagement, the verification, and the AI pieces came into the picture. And the way we see the first two milestones is that we're preparing the building blocks that we can use to be more solution focused. Whether these solutions is more role-based, and that's our next milestone that we're aiming for offering more enterprise solutions, specifically for customer care and marketing automation. We have a lot of use cases. I will share some of them that are with that focus, but we want to focus more on doubling down on that front. And the way forward is that we see that we want to be even more use case specific towards selected industries. We are working closely with them and serving such use cases, but we want to transition completely our offering onto that space. On the second front, which is the go-to-market, we found the need that we also need to change dramatically the way we look at our go-to-market, because at the beginning you only needed to have some sort of list of APIs and a good documentation for that, and that would be enough because you were targeting a more techie persona. But we had to change the way we look at our go-to-market, since we're after more businesses and enterprises, starting by moving from a product-centric or product offering to more solutions offering. That was the first move, and focusing on solutions by outcome, solutions by value, and that's even pushed us to overthink our overall pricing strategy. You know, from channels you move from a cost plus or transaction based into more subscription model, and that's what we've been trying to do for the past, I would say, year. Second is the customer success notion. It's not about how fast you deliver the message. It's not about the conversion ratio anymore. It's about the value that you bring to the enterprise, and that overcome one of the permanent challenges with I would say the initial CPaaS offering, which is stickiness. What would differentiate you from the other competition, and what's the cost of changing you with one of the other competitors. And third is the professional services. And again, when you're focusing only on channels, all you have to do is provide the connectivity, and in some of the highly regulated industries, you will build VPNs and things like that, but it's all on the network level. Once it's up, you're good to go. With offering such solutions and applications, you need professional services heavily, whether to set up the integrations, build the conversation and the bot, train your AI engines. So it's needed to actually make sure that the customers realize the maximum of the solutions they have paid for. Third is getting to a closer look about the Middle East. I think every region has its own challenges, but I'll be covering the drivers that we see that is pushing for the growth, because we still see growth in the Middle East, which is something that we're happy about. But there's also factors that are pushing and shaping the way the CPaaS offering or the CPaaS services should look like. So starting with the drivers, in all the GCC or the Gulf area, we've seen all the government are pushing for diversifying more and more from the oil, offering importing other industries. The new generation is extremely tech savvy. They are very good with technology. We have a rapid digital adoption, social media penetration, easily, I would say, across the board, more than 90%, and in some of the countries it's very close to 100%. After the COVID time, we've seen a rapid adoption on e-commerce services, fintechs, and I would say it's in the era where we started seeing a lot of digital banks coming to the scene. Before that, we didn't have digital banks in the region. So with these coming into the picture and the fintechs, it has pushed for the need for more and more digitalization. Shared apps are heavily used, and KSA and UE being identified as one of the leading business messaging markets in all the Middle East. And if you look at the regulation, there's a lot of regulatory reforms that are pushing for digitalization. Starting with KSA, there's what is called by Vision 2030 that is pushing for completely digitalized government. And you can see most of the services as we speak is digitalized. UE triggering AI specific initiatives across the nation, which is also playing a big part in pushing for more digitalization in the nation. So that's on the driver or drivers for the growth in the market. But because I would say stable economy in the Middle East, you can see a very unique mix of competition. So the competitive landscape is very interesting. So you have local players, you have regional players, and you have international players. And you would need to have a different competitive advantage when facing any of these competitors. And I recall, even in the TED Summit, we've discussed a lot how competitive it is to even compete with the telcos in the local markets. It's very challenging. They provide you the infrastructure and you go and compete with them. But adding to that mix now, the fact that there's a lot of consolidations that is happening. So in some of the opportunities that you have, you're competing with the operators, and some you're competing with the chatbot providers, and other you're competing with the CPAP. So because there's a lot of consolidation. Local operations, I want to start by the fact that Arabic is a language that has 25 dialects. So think about it, if you're training a bot, you need to cover 25 dialects. And not only that, but we have a lot of expats that are living in the region, so you even need to cover other languages. You can look at it as a challenge, but it's definitely an opportunity. But the first thing that the leading technology houses would focus on is to cover English, French, German, and other languages. Well, Arabic is very competitive, so that's an area where we can add true value to our customers. People value much the face-to-face contact. Yes, we can have like conference calls, but to sell to somebody, you need to shake hands. Like if you can sell up to a certain ticket over the phone, but you need to shake hands, you need to be close to them if you want to get to the high tickets. So they need boots on grounds, they need to feel that they can call a local number for support. So they still believe in close support, especially for critical, I would say, projects. Cloud versus in-country. When we started, we were adopting completely 100% of our infrastructure was through hyperscaler. We even mastered the hyperscaler. And we were known in the Middle East on how good are we when it comes to scaling. One of the hyperscalers, three hyperscalers, we were the biggest account in the Middle East for them. But and then we got strike of the compliance and regulatory ask data protection laws. You can think about it close to the GDPR, but more complex in the way that the GDPR is like the standard across all the EU. In the Middle East, every country has its own version of compliance and regulatory. So you need to accommodate all these regions. And some of the regions, they don't have hyperscalers yet, due to a lot of regions. So what adds the complexity here is that you need to put a lot of investment in building your scalability stack and taking into consideration that you're handling billions. So you can think about it, if we're handling 1 billion a month, that means that every transaction at least trigger another 10 transactions. That's the minimum. So it's an infrastructure that needs to scale to cover 10 billion. And you cannot keep it on all the time, because that would be crazy money. So you would need to take care of that piece as well. There's also the ongoing, I would say, challenging equilibrium between driving innovation and regulatory. Continuous cyber attacks, you have to, like as a CPaaS company, you need to have a license. It's very critical to be terminating on a GSM network. So you need to have a license, and you have certain compliance and regulatory that you need to follow. And if you want to target like a big industries like fintechs and banking, you would need to also be compliant with their own regulatories. So putting all that in mind, we see that all these together is actually an opportunity, because it plays in the modes. It's not a market where you can pass easily on. It's a market that if you come in, you need to invest heavily. You need to understand a lot of things to make sure that you can drive innovation. And moving to the exciting part. So this is These are a few of the use cases or the case studies that we do with our customers. I wanted to pick like different industries from different countries just to give you a flavor on what we do with our customers. So Refi is a very, I would say, interesting retailer and e-commerce. You can think about it as it's close to Macy's, where they have like an in-store and they have an e-commerce platforms. Tabi is a very innovative fintech. They are focusing more on the buy now, pay later services. Al-Aoud is a logistics company focusing on last mile delivery. And the last one is a bit futuristic. It's a use case or a case study for Istanbul Airport. So starting with Refi, they've consolidated around 5 companies they are preparing to IPO. First, we worked with them on driving more leads on the marketing automation piece. And actually, it resulted in a very good numbers, but the challenge that we faced is the incoming volumes, you know. It was crazy volumes that, you know, on call, people would wait on the line. On the conversation, you will find, boom, you know, 100K of requests coming your way. And no matter how big is your support team, they cannot take all these calls, you know. So you would need some sort of automation that you push there. And we started by automating a case by case on the bot until we recorded around 80 to 85% automation for incoming inquiries, for qualifying leads, and so on and so forth. And what we want to show here is like at the bottom, these are the building blocks, which are the products. Before, we used to sell these things that are at the bottom, which is the products itself. What we transitioned to is that we use this so we can have a faster time to value, faster time to market for our customers, and to completely customize a solution that fits solving or overcoming their challenge. Tabi is another great partner and customer that we have. They are utilizing a lot of our communication and engagement applications and engagement services that we have, but I picked this one because it directly impacts their business. You know, they are about lending. So one of the most important things for business survival is the connection, you know. And what we've done with them is that we've worked closely on offering them a dual channel approach through conversation, WhatsApp, and through the call. And that, according to their latest analysis, that helped them in having 10% more in response, which is a very good number. Not only that, but give them a bit of insight on what to expect, because both on the channel, the voice and the WhatsApp, it's a session-based communication, so you can track and see when they can reschedule the payments and see what's coming in. Third is another interesting, I would say, use case with logistics. We started with pushing campaigns and doing different campaigning on helping them push the registrations on their platforms. And then we moved to the other part, which is the shipment management, and how can we help on more cost efficiency by validating the addresses and also giving real-time updates for the shipments. So we've started with, I would say it's often easier to start with a lot of the businesses with the marketing piece, because they see quickly ROI, and then you start moving to the customer care, because you know that this would drive, if you have very efficient marketing, it would drive challenges on the customer care, because it can be just humans that are trying to take all that load coming in, and you would be more utilizing your team more efficiently, where the humans would be focusing on the real problems that require their attention, you know, but not somebody asking you, where's my shipment, you know. It's like, just give me the number, I can let you know the solution. And the last case study, which we believe it's a bit futuristic, so let me leave you with 1 minute video, and then we'll be very happy to take questions, if any. Also be very happy to answer any questions about anything about the region you want to know.
excitement to reunite with our passengers and miss them very much. And now, many wonderful flights await us. Have a healthy and a wonderful flight.
So thank you very much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Kareem.